Wrestling legend Hulk Hogan, whose real name was Terry Bollea, has tragically passed away at the age of 71. The shocking news was first reported by TMZ Sports early Thursday morning, sending shockwaves through the wrestling world and beyond. According to emergency dispatch records, medics were urgently called to Hogan's Clearwater, Florida home around 9:51 a.m. The distress call was labeled a cardiac arrest, indicating just how critical the situation had become. Eyewitnesses near the scene reported a heavy emergency presence outside the home, and a video circulating online shows responders in a frantic rush, attempting everything they could to save the life of the WWE Hall of Famer as he was wheeled out of his residence and into an ambulance. Paramedics could be seen performing chest compressions, fighting for every precious second, hoping to revive the icon who had once seemed larger than life. Clearwater police confirmed that Hogan was treated on the scene by Clearwater fire and rescue teams before being rushed to a nearby hospital. Despite their best efforts, Hogan was pronounced dead at 11:17 a.m. during a press conference held Thursday afternoon. Clearwater Police Major Nate Burnside stated that there were no signs of foul play or any suspicious activity linked to Hogan's death. Just a few weeks ago, Hogan's wife, Skydilly Hogan, whom he married in September 2023, had publicly denied persistent rumors that he was in a coma. At the time, she reassured fans that Hogan's heart was strong and that he was continuing to recover from a recent neck surgery he had undergone in May. Those close to the couple had also told media outlets that while Hogan had been experiencing symptoms from the procedure, he was in stable condition and not in any immediate danger. The sudden nature of his death then makes this moment even more heartbreaking for his fans, friends, and family who believed he was on the road to recovery. For millions, Hulk Hogan was more than just a wrestler. He was a cultural phenomenon, a larger-than-life figure who transcended the squared circle and found his way into television, movies, music, and even the American lexicon. When people think of professional wrestling, they often think of Hulk Hogan first with his trademark handlebar mustache, red and yellow gear, and booming catchphrases like "What you're gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you," born Terry Eugene Bollea on August 11, 1953, in Augusta, Georgia. Hogan would rise to fame in the 1980s as the face of Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation, now WWE. He quickly became the cornerstone of the wrestling boom that swept the nation during that decade. Hogan's charisma, muscle-bound physique, and unapologetically bold persona helped elevate wrestling into the mainstream, drawing in fans from all walks of life. Children idolized him, adults admired him. Wrestlers envied him. By the mid-1980s, Hulkamania was a household word, and Hogan was headlining arenas and pay-per-view events across the globe. One of his most legendary moments came in 1987 at WrestleMania 3, when he bodyslammed the 520-pound Andre the Giant in front of a record-breaking crowd at the Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan. That single act became etched into wrestling history and is often replayed whenever Hulk Hogan's legacy is discussed. But Hogan's influence didn't stop at the ring ropes. He ventured into television, starring in shows like Thunder in Paradise, and appeared in films such as Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny, and Rocky III, where he portrayed the over-the-top wrestler Thunder Lips. He even released his own album, Hulk Rules, with the wrestling boot band. While it may have been campy by musical standards, it only further proved Hogan's magnetic draw. He was a true entertainer in every sense of the word. Hogan's popularity spanned generations. In the 1990s, after a brief lull, he reinvented himself in World Championship Wrestling WCW, turning heel and joining the villainous New World Order NWO faction. This transformation shocked fans but reignited his career, helping WCW dominate wrestling ratings for years. It was a calculated risk that paid off, cementing Hogan's legacy as one of the most adaptable performers in wrestling history. In later years, Hogan returned to WWE, making sporadic appearances and participating in matches and storylines that tapped into nostalgia while introducing him to younger fans. Despite health struggles, including multiple back and hip surgeries, Hogan remained active in the public eye, attending conventions, meeting fans, and maintaining a strong presence on social media. His personal life, though, was often marked by turbulence. Hogan's divorce from his first wife Linda was widely publicized, as were the legal troubles surrounding his son Nick Ballia following a car accident that left a friend seriously injured. Later, Hogan found himself in the midst of controversy after tapes leaked featuring him making racially charged comments, leading to a temporary ban from WWE. However, he publicly apologized and gradually returned to public favor, working to make amends and repair his image. Through it all, Hogan remained a symbol of strength and perseverance to many fans. For a generation of wrestling enthusiasts, he represented childhood memories, Saturday morning shows, action figures, and the thrill of watching your hero triumph against impossible odds. His passing now leaves a void that cannot be filled. Tributes from across the wrestling industry and beyond have poured in. Fellow wrestlers, some of whom once stood across the ring from Hogan, have shared emotional memories of the man who helped shape their careers. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, John Cena, Ric Flair, and many more have offered condolences and reflections acknowledging Hogan's unmatched influence on the business. Vince McMahon himself issued a statement calling Hogan the greatest attraction in the history of sports entertainment. Fans have gathered outside Hogan's home in Clearwater, leaving flowers, candles, and handwritten notes. Social media platforms are flooded with hashtags like #ThankYouHogan and #RipHulkHogan, with fans sharing favorite memories, photos, and stories about how he impacted their lives. Hogan's family has yet to release an official statement beyond confirming the time and cause of death, but insiders say they are devastated and are asking for privacy as they begin to process this unimaginable loss. Hogan is survived by his wife, Sky, and his 2 children, Brooke and Nick, who both had their moments in the public eye over the years. Brooke pursued a singing career and starred alongside her father in the reality show Hogan Knows Best, which offered a look into the family's home life during the mid-2000s. Hogan's bond with his daughter remained strong even through difficult times. Nick, though often the subject of scrutiny, also maintained a relationship with his father, who stood by him during his legal troubles. It is expected that a private funeral service will be held in Clearwater in the coming days, followed by a larger public memorial to allow fans and colleagues to pay their respects. There have also been discussions within the wrestling community about a tribute show or Hall of Fame ceremony dedicated entirely to Hogan's memory. It would be a fitting gesture for a man whose presence loomed so large over professional wrestling. As we reflect on his passing, it's important to remember that Hulk Hogan's life was one of both triumph and tribulation. He climbed to the pinnacle of global fame, suffered setbacks that might have ended lesser careers, and still managed to reinvent himself time and time again. He was, and remains, a symbol of resilience. His mantra of saying your prayers and taking your vitamins became more than just a catchphrase. It was a creed for many of his fans growing up. The strength he showed, both physical and emotional, made him more than just an entertainer. It made him an inspiration. The world of professional wrestling has lost one of its most iconic figures. But more than that, pop culture has lost a legend. Hulk Hogan wasn't just a wrestler, an actor, or a celebrity. He was a symbol of childhood, of belief in good triumphing over evil, of the enduring power of charisma and will. And while the man may be gone, the legend of Hulkamania will live on forever.